This week, Paul rides a Yamaha FZ8N.
Hi, I'm Paul and welcome to BikeRiderTV. This week I'm testing the rather good looking but not very expensive Yamaha FZ8. Now with this terrible global financial crisis we've been experiencing for the past couple of years, it seems every manufacturer is bringing out a budget middleweight sports bike. Well, Yamaha have done the same with the FZ8, but it's not a middleweight like the others, it's 800cc, which gives you just that little bit more pep. And it doesn't look budget either. This looks like a primo sports bike that's got all the best bits of Yamaha build quality. Now look around this FZ8 and you'll see cues that remind you of their YZF R1 sports bike. Things like the gold forks, the brakes, they certainly look like they've come off an R1 from a couple of years ago, as well as the gold wheels. And the whole package together looks really mean and really stylish. Now Yamaha have done something a bit different with their middleweight. Instead of making it a 600, this one's actually powered by an 800cc inline 4-cylinder motor. Now it's a typical Yamaha motor as well, and anything over 6,000 RPM, this thing really takes off. And it really is closer to a litre motor at the top end than it is anywhere near a 600. Now those extra cc's also means that the FZ8 has got a little bit more down the bottom, which makes it an easier, friendlier bike to ride and really makes it an ideal machine for those new to biking or certainly coming back to riding a motorbike. Now the FZ8 seems to be able to turn its hand to anything, and this bike we're actually keeping for a few months, and we've been on the racetrack at Hampton Downs, we've been commuting to work and back, we've also been doing longer trips around the country, and it really is a smooth and comfortable and accomplished bike to ride. We have however noticed a couple of places where they've had to trim back just to keep the bike within the price range, and that's the suspension and also this exhaust can. Now the suspension for a lighter weight rider than myself will probably be fine, but when you're pushing upper of 90 kilos and you're pushing the bike quite hard, it does tend to be a little bit soft and a little bit saggy. And unfortunately, there's no real adjustment. So if you're a heavier rider, you go for an FZ8, you are going to have to factor in a price of maybe getting the suspension tinkered with a little bit. But if you're a lighter rider, you're commuting, you're not pushing that hard, it'll be a nice, comfortable, easy bike for you. Now the exhaust can really does look like a bit of an afterthought, and it seems that Yamaha must be expecting every FZ8 owner to junk the can immediately and put something a bit fruitier on, and that's certainly what we're going to do. Now in the saddle of the FZ8, it's actually a really nice place to be. The saddle's nice and comfy, and the reach to the pegs isn't too bad. So you're not cramped up, but also you're not dragging your pegs on the ground all the time. The tank's got this lovely metallic lustrous paint on it, and it really does look quality. And also the clocks, you've got an LCD dash, you've got a nice big white rev counter, and it's even got features like a trip meter, so when the bike goes on to reserve, there's got a counter there which tells you exactly how long you've been on reserve. It really is top end stuff. Now, when you've got in excess of 100 horsepower here, you also need it to work here. And the brakes on the FZ8 are really very good. You'll notice from the calipers, if you know anything about Yamaha, that they're actually R1 calipers from a few years ago. Okay, they're not radially mounted, but that doesn't really matter. Squeeze that lever and these really do the business. Now the FZ8 really is a bit of an anomaly in that there's no other inline 4 800cc naked sports bikes out there. It's $16,349, and for that you get a great little bike that's got all the build quality that we're used to with Yamaha. It's good fun, it looks great, and it's not too hard on the wallet.